Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Oh no, what happened? Hello. Something strange is happening here. Let me adjust my camera. There we go. I did not set up as efficiently as I should have. It's my bad. There we go. We'll get some lighting there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. Today we're as I adjust this. Today we are going to be working on Lexicauseways some more. It's a board game that I'm in the process of designing, that I've been designing on stream. I still forgot to put the rules in the in a place where you can actually read them. But think of it like Mario Party cross Scrabble. Mario Party because you move along the board and try to reach other players, and Scrabble because you build the paths that you move along with words. Right? That's the basic gist. Before we begin, I'm trying something new with the microphone. I turned on a noise suppressor so that I could have my AC unit on as I stream. You shouldn't be able to hear the AC unit right now, even though it is currently on. If my testing was accurate. But if it was not, please let me know so I can adjust that. It's pretty easy to change. And I forgot to get some water, so I'll be right back. I'll get some water and then I'll explain how this is gonna go down. Alright, so the plan for today is to incorporate some of these playtesting notes that you see on screen here, and to mess around with the shape of the board until we find something that we think is a little bit more balanced. But before actually we do that, we need to determine the parameters that we're going to work with, as in how far apart should spaces be, what should the average gap size be, where should special spaces be placed, what special spaces do we want, what should be the longest consecutive length of a stretch of road, stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and create a new create a new thingy. So what do we got here? We have a couple of special spaces. Actually, you know what? I can type these. I can type the words instead of writing them. I am not very good at writing with a mouse. That's hard for you to see, though. 30? Range. What other special spaces? Rainbow, warp, start. Start! There you go. Warp. I want to just figure out what these kind of look like. Or, I guess maybe not what they look like. That'll come later. But, how many of each we should have? Or if we should have any of them at all. So range. Normally players can only make words starting within an area within like a 5x5 square where they're in the center. So the idea with these is that if you're on these, as long as you're on these, your range becomes as far as you want, like infinite range. Which is pretty strong. So they should be kind of limited. Maybe like 4 of each of these. Like 1 for each quadrant, you know? Or, hold on. Maybe, here's the thing I just thought of. Maybe we don't have these specific ones. Like 4 of each of these. What if maybe instead we made just a generic special space, and then like you can change the properties of the special space depending on what you roll. Because right now there's a mechanic in the game. I borrowed the name Chance Time from Mario Party, right? At the end of a round, you can you all roll off, and whoever rolls higher gets like a special bonus depending on how many vowels everybody's currently sitting on. You know, you get a different one. Like if everybody's on all vowels, you get an extra roll. Or if everybody's on no vowels, then like you get to mulligan your hand, you know, stuff like that. Oh, and let me turn the music on as well. That might be a little loud. I've got the piano music. Okay. So maybe, well, I don't know where I could incorporate that, like to change the special. Maybe if you win Chance Time, you could do either the specific bonus, or you could change the special space to whatever you want. Yeah, I think that'll work. Win Chance Time. And all the special spaces on the board become any of these. Okay, that'll work. So let's look at the current board. So all the current spaces are the roads. These are what players travel along. And one of the issues, I think, with the current board is this long road here. I like to call it the highway because it's extremely long. If you get on this, you can basically go anywhere you want. Why are those white? What are those white ones doing there? Oh. There we go. Get rid of those. It's extremely long. And so I think what I should work on doing is not having any of those super long stretches, right? I'm thinking maybe it should be no longer than like 5. You know what I mean? So what I want to do first is just take what we already have and then create more gaps. So I can simply... I think I can. Yeah. I can duplicate the layer. And I can erase everything up here. Not sure why it's doing that. Yeah, I just want the red. Delete all the red. Delete all the green. And so you can't see it, but I have one layer that's an empty grid and one layer below that has the colors on it. So now what we can do is we can look at the original board while making a new board on top of it. And I'm not going to bother with the colors right now. I think I'll make one of them like... like a Here's a 2, here's a 1. I guess you could do that. If you did something like this. You do 3 right there. 3. You could do that right there. 2, 1. Put 1 there. 2, 1, 1, 1. But I think it looks more interesting than the last one. Because when you look at this board, it's pretty obvious where you want to go. You want to get to that middle and just take this road to wherever you want to go, right? But this one, it's much more ambiguous where the correct path might be. You have to think a little bit harder about how you want to proceed, which is good, but there might not be very many places to actually build. It might be more difficult than necessary to actually build things on this board. I'm not sure. I haven't even considered where the special spaces would be either. Because you have to, when we place the special spaces, we have to think about what exactly they are. Range, rainbow, warp, and well, the start spaces are everything on the edge, so that's not really a problem. But range, you know, it gives you infinite range. Rainbow is basically any color. It turns into any color. Warp. When you move onto a warp space, you can choose to go to another warp space. So they need to be conveniently placed when they're warp spaces. And well, I guess there isn't many other considerations to make. Now that I think about it. But should there be larger gaps? That's the thing. You know, because you start on the edge, right? So let's say you start here. Or can you see that? Can you see my mouse? There you go. Okay, you can see it. Excuse me. I need to hydrate clearly. So you start on the edges, right? So let's say you start here and your opponent's like over here. So what can you do? Well, you can build here. Then you can build here, then there, and then there. Or you could go here, and then this is a hard gap to cross, so maybe you want to go down here, and then up there, and then there. Or here, go up here, and then there, and then there. And the thing is, from playtesting this game, it's harder than you think to make 3-letter words. Or 2-letter words. Especially 2-letter words. Because a single gap means that you have a letter on the beginning, a letter on the end, and then a letter in the middle, right? So you have to have your 3-letter words on point to play this game. And I'm thinking maybe there should be bigger gaps. Like, let's see. What was that purple that I was using? Right there. I'll change this to white for now. So, well, I'll keep this board here. But I'll make another board on top of it. Like, one where we start from scratch. Because this one seems fine. You know what? While I'm here, if I'm gonna move on from this one, let me put some special spaces down. So where should the special spaces be? I think there should be like 5. 1 for each corner, and then 1 in the middle. Maybe we'll put one like here, and they should be in places that are a little harder to reach. You know. Like one suggestion was that you put them in the gaps, right? So you actually have to build into them. So maybe put one like, I don't know. Or, well, if they're in the gaps, then they wouldn't be very useful as rainbow spaces, right? Yeah, they have to be on the road somewhere. I mean, they have to be in a difficult road space. So definitely one there. Put one here. Maybe this guy. The diagonals are the hardest ones to get onto, I think. They shouldn't be immediately accessible from the start either. So like, not put one here or here or here or anything immediately connected to the edge. Perhaps there. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 for this quarter. There aren't very many good places to put it. I guess we could do one like here. That kind of works. That's the gist. That's the idea. Right. So that's a workable board. That kind of works. Let's duplicate this board yet again. I'll get rid of all of the. Oh, yeah, let's save it, and then we'll get rid of all of the spaces we just put down, so we can make new ones. Okay, so we have a blank slate here. So bearing in mind our new sort of philosophy, how should we go about this? So one thing we could try is a symmetrical board. You know, eschew the sort of asymmetry that we have going on here and here, and go for something a little more standardized, which would be more fair for everybody, of course, at the cost of being a little less interesting. And we can do symmetry, right? Yeah, well, it's 15 by 15, so it can't be perfectly... Well, yeah, it can still be symmetrical. We just have like a line in the middle. So we need at least 4 spaces that start on the edge in order to accommodate for 4 players. Because players have to start on a space that's on the edge. We could have more than 4. Probably 8 players at max is probably... Actually, can this game handle 8 players? I don't know if it could. Because there's only 100 letter tiles in the game. So if you add 8 players, they each have to draw 7. That's 56 pieces already gone from the bag, from the letter bag. Now, letters do get like reshuffled and reused, so it might not be that bad, but yeah, you know what? Let's have enough edge spaces to accommodate for 8 players. So where should the start spaces be? I think the most logical option would be the corners, right? If we do that, then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Yeah, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All players are equidistant from each other at the beginning. Unless they choose... If there's 4 players, then, you know, they could choose, like, to group up in one corner if they want to be closer to each other. But that's up to them. So let's go with, I don't know what the term would be called, like bifold symmetry. No. Vertical... Wait, vertical symmetry, right? If it's mirrored along the vertical axis, like this line right here, that would be vertical symmetry, right? I think. I don't even remember what class I learned this in. Is this geometry? This would have been geometry, right? That. I think I want to do vertical symmetry. So let's see. Starting on the corners are going to be interesting, right? The corners are... One of these is going to inherently be worse than the other, I think. Maybe we start with like 3 in. There should definitely be a space in the center. And then if we did this for each corner, then that's way harder. for the corner players than the side players. Because this is just a straight shot, but they have to build letters in these pockets here to actually move anywhere. So the corner players should look something more like that, maybe? It takes a lot of space. Or maybe something like this? And then we can build like little islands. Like right here. Something like that. Is that's correct. That's correct. Do that. Alright, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. You have options, right? You can do a 2 gap or a 1 gap. There's a 1 gap right here. Maybe, actually... Do you think that this being here is too easy? Like, whoop. And you just bridge across. Maybe that's a little too easy. Sorry. It was even. It was in the middle of the screen. There you go. Well, the lighting in this room makes my hair look really gray, doesn't it? I look good with gray hair, wouldn't I? I always felt like I would. I'm getting gray hairs already. I think it's something that runs in my family. I don't mind though. I always like the salt and pepper look, you know what I mean? Do a little bit of this. Hmm. What do we think of that, chat? And then obviously this is mirrored on the other side. Because we've got... I think I want to add these there as well. Yeah, I think it's pretty well rounded. It's in a way that like building in little spaces like this is faster if you can do it, but it's harder because you need to make two letter words at once. But at the same time, if you want to do just a single word, you know, there's a 2 gap here, 1 gap here, 2 gap, 2 gap. You know what? Actually, I think the middle should be left open as well. So it's sort of circular. I was thinking that too, like maybe like a more circular board. And save the middle space for the bonus. So keeping this in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the board. Keeping it symmetrical. Let's try not to mess up. We did the hard part already, just need to copy it a little. So how was everybody's weekend, chat? Do you have a good weekend, a good Monday? I, for one, had a great weekend. Of course, if you follow my Twitter or Instagram or anything, you'll see that I was at Fan Expo this weekend with a friend of mine. You may know him as the illustrious Wabus, or just Wabus for short. We got to show off our cosplay. We walked to like a red carpet thing. It was pretty fun. We got a picture taken, which I should be able to get by the end of the week. That'll be cool. But we were also in a doubles tournament for Smash Brothers at the con. I'd never been in a and this was like an officially, like one you actually officially registered for, or as in you had to like pay for entry. I've never been in a tournament like that before. I've never been in an official Smash tournament. The only one I've ever been in was a college tournament, which was sort of just like a last minute, loosely organized thing. But me and Wabus, we were in a doubles tournament, which was also my first doubles tournament. So a couple of firsts there. We did not completely drown in pools. We lost our first round. Oh, we lost our first game, went to losers, won our first losers match, and then we lost our second losers match. So there's out of a bracket of like 16, I think we did pretty decent, right? I mean, not very good, but you know, we weren't the worst. That's what I'll say. We weren't the worst team. Oh, I missed one. Chat, did I miss a space? No, I did not. I think that looks pretty cool. But yeah, I think it's kind of spurred me on to want to try some more locals, and actually look for locals, which I have found some. I think I found a Facebook group for East Texas Smash Brothers. So I've scheduled myself a tournament next month. And I think there's one in Dallas. No. There's one in Plano that I might go to, but it's a long drive to probably lose. As if you watch Smash Brothers, if you watch any competitive Smash Brothers, you might be familiar with Tourney Locator or Shockwave. That's in Plano. Actually, I've been in the venue before. They weren't doing a tournament though, because it's a game exchange, or it's a used game store. And you know, I like collecting, you know, retro games and things like that, or PS2 games specifically. So I was in there for a different reason. But I saw it, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I recognize this setup. Or like, I saw it was like Shockwave on Wednesdays. I'm like, wait a sec, I've seen that on YouTube before. That's kind of crazy. But I can't go on Wednesdays. I'd have to go on a Saturday, or like I'm thinking about maybe going this Saturday, but I don't know. Maybe if I can convince Wabas to go with me again. But I'm gonna try to take Richter a little bit more seriously. I've been watching like guides on YouTube by one of the more notable Belmonts, Dom, T3 Dom. And I've learned a couple of things. I've learned a thing or two about neutral and bread and butter combos. I haven't jumped in training mode yet or anything, but I think I will maybe after the stream is over. Okay. So, got a little sidetracked, but here's a symmetrical board. I think this board looks pretty good. There's a lot of variety in distance. You know, in like different gaps. And let me mark down the starting points, because there are some on the edges that aren't intended to be starting points. So the ones in orange, those are the starting spaces. The purple ones are the special spaces, and the black ones are the colored roads. I wonder though, how many spaces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not actually going to count. I don't know why I thought I do. I would, but I'm not actually going to count those. I guess we could do we could point out where the starts are here, so oops. Okay. I'm confusing myself. There we go. Now we're on the... No, we're not. Now we should be working on the right layer. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Skadoosh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's where the starts would be on this board. Now chat, if there's anybody there, what do we think? We like the symmetrical board or the asymmetrical board? Having actually looking at the two and comparing and contrasting them, I think the symmetrical board is the winner here, honestly. It's got, you know, there's a 3 gap here. There's a 1, a 2, 2. There aren't very many 1 gaps. There's these over here. There's these, like the diagonals. I wonder if maybe, what if we did, oops, I'm on the wrong layer again. What if we did this? No. The thing is, these need to be play tested, right? So we can't really make any final judgments until they're play tested. But then again, that would require me to fill in all the colors to play test them. We could do something like this. Because right now, you know, that is a good point, though. We haven't experimented with that. We could... what am I thinking of? Instead of just one... instead of just paths that are one, you know, one wide, what if we had them in, like, blobs? Like in groups where you could move freely around. You know what I mean? It would be a little bit you could move around kind of cheesily though. Like, you know, you're intended to have to move forward in one direction, but if it was just a block, like, let me put it back like this. If it was a block, then you could go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that, which I guess that opens up some more creative movement, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's try to put one of those down. Now the intention is that I make all of these and that I playtest them each individually, right? Do some more playtesting sessions somewhere down the road. So let's duplicate this again. Magic wand. Ever since I learned the shift click with the magic wand, my life has been so much easier. Oh my gosh. I discovered that on accident. So, this board, we're going to experiment with the glob theorem, as I've as I've decided to call it. What if instead of having straight paths, we had big old globs of road? Now it wouldn't make as much sense to call them roads at that point. They're more like parking lots, I guess, or roundabouts. But let's try it. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna put my starting spaces on the corners. Because I'm kind of partial to the symmetrical design philosophy. And let's go bonkers. Let's go crazy. So what if we did something kind of like that? Just big old chunks like islands. Ooh, oops. Ooh. Okay, boosh. And again, this is going to be laterally symmetrical. How should I do these? Maybe something like this. Change it up a bit. I'm not really. I'll be honest, Chad. I'm not really feeling this one. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll give it a chance here, but right now it's just not feeling as. It just doesn't look as fun to play on. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. It looked kind of like an appealing idea when you look at it sort of like this. I think the problem is if we go with the glob approach, if we go with the island approach, then most of your movement is like you don't have to make very many bridges at all, you know? Not very many at all. Because what? To get from island to island, you have to make a bridge here, one here, you know, not very many. And it makes barricades, because, okay, so in this game you can put up blockades for your opponents, so that they can't pass. But blockades would be almost useless in this scenario, or when the board looks like this. So you know what? I'm actually gonna scrap it. I like the idea at first, but I kind of talked myself out of it. It's a little bit too. Yeah, it's not. What's the word I'm looking for? What am I trying to say? It undermines it undermines most of the gameplay. Actually, it undermines most of the systems in the game, right? Because in straight roads, if you have straight roads, then when you move, you're forced to go in one direction or the other. Depending on, and you can choose, you roll 2 dice, you choose one of them, you move that many. That makes you choose, okay, do I want to land here or do I want to land here? You have 2 options, and you have to choose. Or, I guess you'd have 4 options, right? Because you have 2 different dice in 2 different directions. Ideally. But you're limited, right? So you have to make a choice. And that choice impacts, whether or not you've landed on a vowel or not. Or, if you're going to run into a blockade. But if you can just go anywhere you want, then that undermines that. And also, if most of the spaces are road, then you don't need to make bridges, which is kind of the whole point of the game. That's the whole draw, or at least it's supposed to be. Is this centered? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on, let me fix this. I just noticed this. This word up here is not centered. This U should be in line with this orange block right here. Is it though? Again, I basically have to just do it by eye. That looks right to me. And here's a tip, chat, that I learned a while ago. I learned this a long time ago about graphic design. Well, all right, full what's the word? Full disclosure. I only know this because I browsed r/logo design and graphic design a few times. But basically, the idea is that it matters more that it looks right than if it is right. Right? Like, it matters more if this looks like it's in the center than if it is actually geometrically perfectly in the center. Because many times, it being geometrically perfectly right looks wrong to our eyes. It looks off. Like, what's the example they would use? In a lot of logos, in a lot of circular logos, the circle is not actually a perfect circle. It's actually sort of squashed a little bit. But to our eye from a distance and, without scrutiny, it looks circular. It looks more circular that way than if it was actually a circle. If that makes sense. Just based on, like, all the other elements that are included with it. That sort of, it's like an optical illusion. And if it's, like, printed on a can or something like that, then, yeah, that changes things. It looks too far to the right. There we go. I think that looks right. Okay, anyway. I digressed a little there. But we have a couple of new boards to work with now. The modified asymmetrical board. This one right here. And the brand new symmetrical board. This one right here. I think they both have their merit. This one obviously looks cleaner. But I've yet to actually test them. So we won't know until we get there. But now, what we gotta do is, first of all, what I want to do now is fill in the spaces with the colors, so that I can actually use them and play with them. And oh, you know what? Actually, we might need to make a modification to the board. We might need an extra area for an extra area to denote what the special spaces actually are. So let's draft that out right quick. So we have the board. So here's what I'm thinking right now. I want the logo at the top. For sure. Put the logo right now. It's kind of a placeholder logo right now. I'll come up with something a little bit more inventive at some point. Well, the logo is going to be at the top there. And then one of these should be the colors. Color. There's the color key right there. And then on the other side, we have the special key. Special. And instead of these being colors, it'll be like, here's the, this is, instead of putting letters here, we'll put like a token or something here. Like a token you can slide. Actually, if that's the case, I'll make these circles instead of squares. Like boom, boom, boom. And only one of these will be filled at a time. So this one's like Or what were our... Yeah. Range. Rainbow. Warp. And then that leaves an empty space down here, which I think we could do like we could put like a quick reference. Like quick reference information. Like if here's how the chance time works. And here's some basic rules for you to look at. Kind of like how Scrabble has the number of each letter on the side of their board. We do the same thing, but with, you know, the if you're on how these many vowels at the end of a round, this is what chance time does, etc. Or like, here's what you can do on a turn, yada yada. And of course we have the board right here. But you knew that, didn't you, chat? You're very smart. You're very smart, chat. So let's hide these for now. And make something completely different. Don't you love layers, chat? Don't you love layers? I love layers. I learned to love layers very early. They are your best friend. Never delete them either. Just hide them. Okay. So this doesn't have to look pretty. We need R, G, where's G? What green was I using actually? Oh. Let me just color pick that. Color pick boosh. Oops. Boosh. Okay. So we'll do RGB, red, green, blue, top to bottom. Make a shape. We'll start with a trapezoid. Now, I shouldn't get too fussy with the details. Actually, how's this supposed to be? How did I have it last time? No, you know what I did before? I used a triangle. I used triangles and then filled it in with... Okay, let's do a right triangle. Nope. Gotta click off of it first. We'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me zoom in. I don't know why I'm trying to do it from a distance. shape. I left a gap here. Yeah, anyway, chat. What was I was talking about Smash before, wasn't I? I forgot the joys of playing Smash Brothers like with other people. I've been playing Smash Brothers online for so long. You know, that's like, man, playing locally is so much better. 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, never mind the, like, you know, the lag and all that. But it's just fun to play with. Like, I didn't think it would be that much fun to play with strangers, you know, but it's sort of that thing where it's like you have this instant kinship with somebody else just because you both play the same video game. You know, it's kind of weird. It's like, I don't know anything about you. I just met you, but you play Smash and I play Smash. So we have that common ground, and because of that, I think you're pretty cool. Just a very neat thing in general. I mean, you could say that about every game as well, you know. Actually, I'm going to extend green a little bit just because the other colors get the corner. Well, that might be a little too far. Like that, maybe? But yeah, I met a very nice gentleman named Sean, who was dressed as Frozone from The Incredibles. He and his partner really gave us the business, but, you know, it was all in good fun. Although his partner took a sweet time getting there. I think we were playing friendlies for like 20 minutes before his partner showed up, which again was fine by me. Any excuse to play more Smash Brothers is always good in my book. But it was like, come on. He got stuck in parking, apparently. Which, again, I guess I can't really blame him for. The parking there was pretty brutal. Me and Wabas, actually, we ended up getting free parking. I don't know how. And maybe I shouldn't be telling anybody this, but, you know, we were looking for the parking lot, and we found a lot, and we're like, oh, well, this is where our GPS is telling us to go, right? It's like, yep, here it is. This is the lot. Lot E. You know. And so we go in there, and we just drive on and park. And nobody tells us anything. There's no, like, toll meter or, like, anywhere to pay. So we just ended up getting free parking. Like, okay. We'll take it. And the car didn't get towed, so... let's put some squares here. Wow, they have it square. Except we need to make a new layer. actually, hold up. Here's what we'll do. I am just going to copy one of the squares we already have. See, why make it harder on myself, you know? And I know I said, like, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is not even the final, this is not what it's gonna look like in the final version. I just can't help but try to make everything like aligned properly. There we go. You can see that, right? Yeah, you can see that. You can see that. Okay. Save. So we want to do the same thing on the other side. How am I going to do that, though? Like, I can't represent it by blocks of color, so do I just... What do I do there? Let's see. V. Oops. So what I just did there, you couldn't see me do this, but what I just did was I combined these three layers together, copied it, removed them apart, like made them separate layers again, pasted that, and now I'm gonna flip it around so that it's yeah, flip horizontal. There we go. So now look at all that work I just saved myself. Workflow, baby, workflow. Oh, for some reason, oh no. What does that mean? The board is ever so slightly misaligned, I guess. It's not completely symmetrical. Otherwise, that gap would not be there. It's a pixel off. That's extremely irritating, but you know what? We'll deal. The only caveat to this is that when you copy it this way, it means that the copied half is not in separate layers, so it's harder to edit. But again, this is for, you know, working purposes and not necessarily a finished product. So what am I going to do about you? I could maybe fill it in with different gradients, or like, hold on. What if we did like solid color? What would be a pattern to represent like range? Arrows, right? You know what? The first thing I should do is change the colors. So I'll do this. Do like a sort of alternating, and I'll change the colors of the squares to be black so you can actually see them. What happened there? Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, now we're good. So change these so you can actually see them properly. And we'll add just some decals on top so that you know what you're looking at. So there should be some arrows. Yeah, there should be some arrows here. Make another arrow here. Again, I'm forcing myself to not make it look too fancy. Omnidirectional arrows should get the point across just fine. Though it's a little small. I don't know what the final version of this is actually going to look like. Can't quite visualize it in my head right now. You guys know what this is supposed to look like. You guys know. You guys know. Just squash that down a little bit. So if the token is on this, then all the special spaces are infinite range spaces. Very cool. That looks kind of wacky, doesn't it? Rainbow. I guess there's only one way to do that one. I need to pick these colors again. Make this primary, make this secondary. We can just do like some circles. Is that really the same color? My god, that is the same color. Oh my gosh. See, that's the optical illusion stuff I was telling you about. Doesn't this look straight up orange? Look at this. These look like the same color, don't they? Almost. Then you put them aside. Boom, it's red now. Like maybe they don't look exactly the same. Well, actually on the screen that I'm seeing, it looks almost identical. Like the stream On the stream, it looks like they're the same color. Like, they look orange, but then you move it, boom, now it's red. That's crazy. That is why people learn color theory, ladies and gentlemen. So that this does not happen. So put some nice polka dots here. This one you can tell. That one's definitely green. Wait, what? I thought I... Oh, I'm dumb. Put this on the wrong layer. This is it. Okay. Select, trim that off. Trim. And then let me get red. Wait, I already got red. I need blue. Blue. Now, you may be asking, well, Jag Cactus, why not just pick from the color wheel? Well, because I'm paranoid that they're not going to be the right color. That's the simple answer. Boom. Isn't that nice? How cute. And the last one is warp. Warp. How can I get across the idea of warping from one place to the other without using arrows? Because we've already used arrows. I just realized I said I wanted these to be circles. I'm going to make them circles. That shouldn't be too hard. Ooh, gross. I need more thickness. A little bit more thicker than that. That'll do. Extra thick, extra thick. Boosh. Get rid of that. Okay. There, that's nice. Okay. Warp. Like, maybe like, something that comes to mind is like, you know, like 3 blue rings on top of each other. That's sort of like a, like, that's something that you think of like a teleporter or something like that. Teleporter, common teleporter imagery kind of has those like sci-fi blue rings of energy. But that's not very... You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do? Go from one place to the other. Dotted line. Check this. With X's on each end. A dash, maybe? Watch, I'll show you what I mean. So we do like one of these. One spot to the other. I want it to cross through the circle. Let me edit it again. Okay, thank you. And then we need to make an X. Is X a shape that is available to me? Yes. Wait. Yes, here it is. X there. X there. Boom. I am a certified symbologist. Look at that. I quite like that. I like that. Placeholder. It's a placeholder. And then we can leave that blank. We can leave that down there blank. But just as a reminder. Where's the bracket? Reference information will go here. You know, I just realized, chat, my laundry has been going since the stream started. My laundry never takes that long. Well, I did put in a lot today. I expected it to go off by now, though. Boosh. Okay. Save. Now I'm going to save a couple of these. Well, actually, no. I shouldn't save them as PDFs yet, because I still need to fill in the colors for these. I think that's red, and then what shade of green do I use? There are a few shades of green here. Whatever. I'll just color pick it again. Okay, so when it comes to choosing what spaces or what color, I don't want... Well, I was operating before on the idea that I don't want any of the... Any colors to repeat next to each other, but maybe I'll abandon that. Like we could experiment with making an entire island like one color. Like for instance, if you do something like this, like all of these are red, you know. So if you change the letter in the red space or in the red key, then this entire island changes to a different letter. That might be cool to try. Should I have... I don't know if I should have colors across from each other, because that makes it difficult to get across. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Like, maybe you could have, like, boom, boom, and then boom, bop. See? Oh, there's my laundry. I don't think you can hear that, but my laundry just went off. So, like, if you're here, you could have an option to bridge from... Let's say it's like A, B, C, right? Red is A, green is B, blue is C. So you could try to make a letter that begins and ends with A, or begins with B and ends with A. You know, as an example. I don't know... Boa, that's a word. That's a word that starts with B and ends with A. Boa. Blah. Like B-L-A, blah. I think that counts. Like blah, blah, blah. Bra. B. That's hard. That's hard. See, that's it's difficult to come up with the words for that. Or like starts with A and ends with A. Like I can't even think of one. Yeah, that's hard. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Like avoid situations where the same color is across from each other. But I just remembered something else. These need to be these can't be orange. They need to be a color. So what I can do is make that black and make the outline orange. Yeah, I could do that. We may not actually have time to do a proper... to properly make a full board. But this is the kind of nitty-gritty stuff you gotta do, you know. I'm so glad I made these borders alternating colors. That was a great bit of foresight on my end. I'll give myself kudos for that. And same thing with the special spaces. Might be harder to see. Bop. There we go. Yeah, you can still tell. You can still tell. Maybe when there's more color, it'll be more difficult, but for now, that's nice and visible. Oops. I need the color picker, not the magic wand. Okay, now I can start putting colors in. At least for this one. Now, what rationale should I use? I feel like I shouldn't change up too much. Like I added these special spaces too, and like these new mechanics. So maybe we should keep it simple like it was before, so we're not changing too much at the same time. Do red. Oh, that is hard to see. Red. That's not going to be red. Green. Red. Make this red as well. I wish I could use 3 colors at once. This would be much easier to do, because I could just bang them all out, right? Or I guess I could just treat black as, like, blue. You know? And then fill in the blues later. Like, this is red, blue, green, blue, red. You know? Red, blue, green, blue, red. Put green here. I'll make that blue, green, blue, red, green, because that's blue up there. Red, blue, green, blue, red, green. This should be... Can that be red? Red. It could be red, because this can't be red, or this can't be red. It has to be green or blue. That's blue. So this can't be blue. So this has to be green, red, blue. Okay, it's like a Sudoku puzzle. I'll do green here because that's blue, and this will be Also blue. Do red. Red. Or no, that'd be two blues next to each other. Red, green, or red, blue, green, red. This we can keep blue. This we can make blue as well. We'll make this red. Man, I have time for all this. Well, this will be the last thing we do on stream tonight, is fill in these colors. We'll keep that blue. That's blue, so this is going to be green? Blue, green, blue. Green, blue. Red, blue. Green, red. Red, blue, green. We'll start this as blue, so that's blue, red, green. Blue. This has to be red or green. Make it red, because that's green up there. Green, blue, green, red. That has to be blue. Red. Blue. Uh-oh. We have a diagonal here. I guess that's fine. This has to be green. It's gotta be. There's no other option. Red, green, blue. Blue. Red. That'll be blue. I guess these can both be blue. Red. Green. Blue. Blue. Red. Looking like a Christmas tree. Red, green, blue. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Red. These aren't real words anymore. Put a green here, make these blue. We'll start blue over here because there aren't very many blue starts. So we got a red, green, green, red. Well, they can't be divided evenly. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll make this one blue as well, and then we'll make this red, blue, blue. So blue, red, green, blue, green. blue, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, or I made that red. Oh well. Green. Blue, green. Like that. Yeah, we'll keep this blue. Well, no, we can't, because that's there. Red, blue, red, and there we go. And then we fill in the rest with blue. Hello there, Cap. Sorry I missed that last message. I was hyper focused on the board over here. Yes, this is a new version of the board. It's hard to divide 3 evenly. That's why parties of 2 or 4 have always been traditionally preferable in RPGs. In fact, the Quantum Realm uses the same concept of pairs instead of odd groupings within its shell of reality. That's so true. I never thought of it that way before. But yeah, we're this stream I came up with I worked on implementing the special spaces to and also redesigning the layout of the board. I made a couple board layouts. I made this one that you're looking at right now. Like a modified version of this one, but with more gaps. And I also made a symmetrical one that looks like this. Where were we? Here we are. I figured that if we made spaces individually for each special space type that we came up with, of which there are 3, then it would get kind of crowded. So I decided to make just 5 special spaces that change their effects. So the idea is that when you win chance time, you get the option to either take the bonus for that specific chance time, or you can change the effect of the special spaces on the board, of which there are 5. They're a little hard to see currently, but they're the spaces that are outlined in purple. They're actually extremely hard to see with the blue spaces. The orange outlined ones are the starting spaces, and the purple ones are the special spaces. I should make those brighter, shouldn't I? I should make it a different color. You see, there they are. It's hard to see them. Make them yellow, maybe? Yellow, like a bright yellow. Is that easier to see? Yeah, that's way easier to see. So the special spaces are bright yellow, and the starting spaces are orange. But actually, you've come at the end of the stream, because now it is 8 o'clock, and we are done. So let's go over the progress we made today, because we did make a lot of progress. I guess we can mark some of these off of the to-do list. So we settled on how special spaces are going to work for now. Well, not settled, but we came up with a way to combine all of these special spaces to save board space on the actual physical board. We added some rulings for that. We came up with a new border design to accommodate for the new mechanic. And we designed a couple of new boards to try out in a playtest somewhere down the road. I may work on coloring in this board off stream so that we can actually playtest it next time on Wednesday. But I'm not sure. I'll think about it. Because it is a little short notice. Usually I'd like to give anybody that's going to play test with me some time to prepare. Not that there's much preparing, but I would personally prefer for somebody to ask like more than a day in advance. Playtesting something I'm down for. With respect. Okay. We can go ahead and give that a shot then. We can try that tomorrow. With one or more of the new boards. We probably won't have time to test both boards in a single stream, but I'll color in the other one just in case. So that's currently the agenda, I guess. So we don't need to save this. We can save this. And that's the stream for tonight. So, thank you everybody for coming out. Thanks Cap for being here, even though you're at the very end. That's okay. I'm gonna look for anybody that's streaming tonight. Well, look at that. Acyric is actually back online. I think he took a hiatus. I think he said in his Discord server that he was thinking about what kind of content he wanted to make. Like whether or not he wanted to focus on one game or do variety. And I think he settled on doing variety stuff. So good for him. I'm glad he's back. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna raid Acyric tonight. He is playing Dark Souls 2. I don't remember where he left off on Dark Souls 2, but he's in the thick of it. He's in the middle. So if you don't want spoilers for Dark Souls 2, you've been warned. But watch him anyway, because he's great. Acyric. Boosh. Okay. So thank you everybody for watching. Anybody that's watching here live or in the future on YouTube. Anybody listening or lurking here, I appreciate your presence, even if you don't make yourself known. We made a lot of great progress today. Our plan for next stream on Wednesday where I'm going to be playtesting the new boards with at least Captain Wasabas. I don't know if I'll be able to get anybody else on it with me. We'll see. And that's going to be 6 to 8, just like it was tonight. So I'd love to have you there. But until then, good night. Have a good Tuesday. And I'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody.